Making the move from city to countryside is often a momentous step.
It's how a child would draw it.
But for many years, Escape to the Country has been supporting countless people on rural adventures.
We'll have that one.
I can't speak.
We've travelled to the most picturesque pockets of Britain.
You're kidding.
Looks like a winner so far.
And this is just the outside.
To showcase thousands of exquisite country properties.
It's perfect.
What did you just say?
It's perfect.
Not all missions are straightforward,
There is a small but.
Oh, I knew there had to be.
There had to be somewhere.
but they're often invaluable journeys that can lead to a whole new way of life.
I got my ceiling height.
Yes, that was a little bit of a sticking point.
So join us as we catch up with those who transformed their lives when they escaped to the country. For many, escaping to the country means getting away from it all and enjoying a little bit of elbow room. So we're often asked to find properties with a bit of land, where grand plans include anything from growing veg and keeping chickens to running a business. And today I'm meeting two such couples for whom land was an important part of their search. I'll be retracing my footsteps on two former house hunting adventures, one that took place in the Welsh and English border counties of Powys and Shropshire, plus another in the West Country favourite of Devon. Both areas offer an abundance of space and plenty of properties with land. Later, I'll be catching up with Caroline and Michael. Back in the autumn of 2020, we were Devonshire property shopping with their hefty £1.5 million budget. But first, I'm checking in with Kim and Dave, who I helped with their move to the beautiful Welsh Marches. Early retirees Kim, a former carer, and Dave, a former engineer, were looking for space, a place where they could start to live their very own good life.
We're looking forward to a slower pace of life and be able to live off what we've grown.
Where we want to keep chickens, bees, maybe some pigs and sheep if we've got enough land.
My nan's family was from Hereford, farming background, and we used to spend holidays down there on the farm, and I think it's stemmed from that basically. So something I've always aspired to.
With their Worcestershire home in the town of Droitwich Spa sold, the couple had put their belongings into storage and were house hopping with family and friends.
We're living out of suitcases. This is our sort of supply of clothes on the clothes rail here. We've got boxes everywhere. We've got clothes on the bed, under the bed. So we are quite desperate to move.
Having viewed over 90 properties and put in 4 unsuccessful offers, they asked for our help. That was back in the summer of 2021. They wanted a character property with a minimum of 3 bedrooms for visiting guests. It needed to be within reasonable reach of their children, who are based in the West Midlands. They wanted a rural location with views and also envisaged 2 acres of land to help turn their self-sufficient dream into a reality. Their budget was a very healthy £850,000. Our first stop along the Welsh Marches was just north of Llandrindod a spa town in the county of Powys. In the middle of this picturesque landscape, down a quiet lane, was the first property I had to show Kim and Dave.
Well, this is where it all begins. How's this for a setting?
That's very nice.
Beautiful, absolutely stunning. This is a good start.
You're desperate to get in.
Yeah, we're very keen to get in, can't
right.
wait.
This beautiful 19th century stone farmhouse had been recently renovated.
Wow, am I allowed to say that, wow, on the first property?
I think it's required with a property like this.
Yeah, this is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got the range there that we used to cooking on.
Me.
Oh, yes, Dave. And the beams, exposed beams, wonderful. Yeah, you wouldn't really need to do much in here to change it. No.
Let me show you more of the view.
Yeah.
So this room has been built onto the property.
Yeah.
You see those absolutely stunning views.
The ground floor housed a snug and a spare bedroom, along with a living room that had been charmingly restored.
Absolutely love the fireplace and that beam. My goodness me, that's a few 100 years old, isn't it? And again, the exposed stonework, that's beautiful.
Very much to our taste.
The exposed stone walls extended all the way up the staircase to the first floor.
How's this for a main bedroom?
Oh, well.
Absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at the ceiling heights. Breakfast on the balcony, Dave,
You're spoiling
in the
us.
mornings.
Both of you are effectively living out of a suitcase at the moment, aren't you?
Yes,
How
we are.
nice would it be to have this kind of whole area to yourselves in the house?
This would be amazing. It's
Fantastic. Yeah,
luxurious. It's like a,
Be able
it's
to
like a hotel.
unpack all the clothes and put the furniture out of storage.
Yeah, so yeah, this would be amazing. Absolutely. A dream come true, to be honest.
3 further bedrooms were served by a family bathroom. Outside, there was a detached stone outbuilding, a sun terrace, and large garden. In total, the property extended to 2 acres, which included space for animals and a ready-made vegetable garden. Exactly what Kim and Dave were after.
What do you think it's on the market for?
Right, well, the budget is 850-ish thousand.
I love an ish.
So I'd say 850,000.
I think it's more than our budget. So I'd say about £870,000.
Okay. Is it?
Dave's instinct is right. It's only been on the market for 2 weeks and the asking price is £895,000. So I have really used the ish too.
Yes, yeah.
At £45,000 over their ish budget, this 19th century farmhouse was pushing their boundaries, but it had everything they requested.
I found it really difficult to hide my feelings with this house because it does appear to be everything that we've been looking for. I just cannot believe that on the first house that you found us that this could potentially be our forever home.
Nestled in between the Welsh hills and the Shropshire plain was our next house. It lay in the hamlet of Treflac, just half a mile from the Welsh border.
You wanted views.
Very-
How's this?
Definitely nice.
Wow. Feels like we're in the forest.
We're in Shropshire, so we're in England looking at the Welsh countryside.
All right.
And what about the house itself? It's got the stone, which I hope you like.
That's great.
Nice, yeah.
Yes.
The oldest part of the house was built in the 1800s.
And then this is the new part of the house that was added on.
Yeah, this is a good size room, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love the fireplace.
Log burner,
yeah,
yeah.
that's nice, log burner. And then obviously patio
The
doors.
views.
Yeah, to the views. That's stunning views.
There was a ground floor ensuite bedroom and a country-style kitchen.
A good range there, isn't it, in that recess?
Yeah.
Again, you've got the big picture window looking over the views. It's a little bit small, I think.
Is it for you?
Yeah.
You've got all the utility space in there
Yeah.
and
Okay.
a downstairs loo.
So there could be a possibility of knocking through if we want it, or reconfigured the kitchen.
Head on upstairs without me,
Okay.
and then I'll meet you outside.
Okay.
Thank you.
At the top of the stairs was a decent-sized bathroom that served 2 bedrooms. There were also 2 larger bedrooms, both with their own ensuites.
Oh, so this is the master bedroom. Oh, this is a massive size, isn't it?
I mean, this is nothing wrong with the house. It's just not giving us that feeling, I don't think.
No.
I don't think this one's for us.
Outside, a paved patio was ideal for hosting family and friends, with an abundance of flowers for Dave's bees and a large vegetable patch.
This field, which is an acre, comes with the property. So altogether, including all the garden areas, it's just over 2 acres that come with the house.
Oh, that's what we asked for, wasn't it? 2 acres.
Yeah.
I am very, very curious about where you're going to price this property.
I think 825,000.
Just under the 800.
It's on the market for £650,000.
Right. Wow.
I think it's a bargain.
If anything was going to win them over, perhaps a huge saving like that might just have done the trick. Our first property had it all, but it was going to use all of the budget and then some. The next one had all the land they wanted with loads of leftover cash. So 2 great options there, but with one more house to go, the mystery house. And you know how I am about a mystery house. With Kim and Dave, I went all in. For our final stop, we headed to Llanny Blodwell, a small hamlet in North Shropshire, just east of the Welsh border.
Welcome to the mystery house. Ta-da!
Wow. It is pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very quaint.
The 18th century Grade 2 listed cottage wasn't actually the mystery, so I sent them in to have a look around by themselves before I revealed all.
Wow, look at the door, Dave.
Yeah.
That's got some character, hasn't it? Bet that's a few years old.
Downstairs, there were 2 living rooms, a dining room and the kitchen.
It's not a big kitchen, is it? But I do like it. It's big enough, isn't it?
3 good-sized bedrooms lay upstairs.
How are you doing? Oh, with the height, I'm going down. The floor's a little bit uneven, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is very rustic, isn't it? I mean, I love the panelling.
Outside, the garden was well maintained and spacious.
Nice garden.
Yes, yes, very pretty. Full of lots of different flowers. It's good for the bees.
Yeah.
So what did you make of the house?
Well, I've just got one word for it at the moment, and that's quirky.
Also part of the property, but not the mystery part, was a detached, self-contained 1-bedroom bungalow, potentially a brilliant little earner. And then it was time to reveal the mystery.
It's a Grade 2 listed barn. You should just convert your own barn.
Are you up for that, Dave?
Well,
I wasn't expecting that,
might,
to be honest.
might detract from the
It's
grow your
massive.
own angle.
I sensed hesitation from Dave, but the 1,400 square foot barn held huge potential.
Well, it's, yeah.
This is spectacular, isn't it?
I think,
Wow, what a space.
I think you got a bit mad.
You do think I've gone a bit mad.
I think it's absolutely stunning. I love it.
I don't know whether you're up for it, but I just thought, right, last roll of the dice, mystery house. Let's just throw it out there.
And you certainly threw it out there.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a fantastic building.
I had one final card up my sleeve, which I hoped might finally persuade Dave.
The whole property is just over 6 acres.
It's absolutely fantastic. This could be your wild meadow.
It doesn't have to be a wild meadow because I haven't had time to look after it.
Yes, for me it's a contender.
I'm glad Kim saw the potential, but I could tell I'd pushed it too far with Dave.
Oh, I'm going to go right at the top of the budget. In fact, I'm going to go over. I'm going to go 875,000.
The work that needs doing, I think, and I'd put it at somewhere around the 600 mark, 600,000 pounds.
I mean, there's almost £300,000 difference.
I think I love it. Dave's scared of the work. That's what it is.
I wonder why.
It is on the market for £695,000.
I'm interested.
So my mystery house wasn't too way out, at least not for Kim. And at £155,000 under budget, it offered the potential to create an amazing home.
I mean, it's nothing what we were after, really, because we didn't want all this work.
It opens a huge amount of potential, and I really like it.
We'd packed in a lot of travel and seen a wide variety of properties, all offering the space for Kim and Dave to start their new life, living off the land. I will admit that some were more out there than others, but one of our houses really stood out from the rest. That was nearly a year ago. Here I am, and there it is, our striking first house in the beautiful countryside just outside Llandrindod, Wales, with its new owners, Kim and Dave. Now, if you remember, it was pushing their budget, so I need to find out how much they had to stretch to secure it. Hello, Kim, Dave.
Hello.
Look at you in the first house. And this is new.
It is. I put this on, was about 5 weeks ago now.
Yep.
Finished it. Yes.
It looks beautiful, actually. You can really see how striking the house is from down there. It's lovely.
Yes, very nice.
Gosh, we've got lots to catch up on, though, haven't we?
We have. Coming in.
I remember how taken they both were when they first saw this beautiful, ready to move into 19th century farmhouse.
Yeah, this has got to be one of my favourite rooms in the house. I love it. It's such a lot of character. The exposed beams and the beam over the fireplace. So we retreat in here from about 6 o'clock and then put our feet up on that settee. Dave keeps getting up and lighting the fire and prepping the fire and whatever he has to do, which is really nice, cosy. All the furniture was in the storage in the caravan, except for the settee. We've just had a new settee.
This one, to match that beautiful wall.
Yes, yeah. I said to Dave, look, you've not got to decorate, we'll just buy a settee that's got the same colours as that wall.
Dave has decorated a few of the upstairs rooms, but they haven't needed to do any major work.
Has it been strange not doing too much to the house? Because it just was so lovely already.
I think after seeing the other house, the mystery house, I think...
Wasn't a house. It was a wreck.
The barn. the barn with loads of potential, Dave. He's not forgiven me, has he?
No, he hasn't. But I keep thinking back to that. Well, maybe have I missed, not putting our own stamp on or doing some sort of renovation?
But a lot of this move wasn't about what the house looked like. It was the land.
Yes.
And that's where you're starting to, do stuff. So.
Yeah. I think you have to live somewhere, don't you, for at least a year to decide on, how you're going to use each room and what you want to do.
Should we get a cup of tea and sit down? Because I need to know how it all panned out once you left me. I know you weren't that happy about this being over budget. So.
Before we delve into the details of how they're using their land, there's just the small matter of the move and, more importantly, the price.
So, when I left you, you had already booked in a second viewing on this place.
Yeah.
We had.
What happened then?
So we stayed over, booked another hotel, stayed an extra day, came back then on the Saturday, was it? And then we put an offer in.
On that day?
Yes. We'd moved 3 times in 5 months. So we were desperate and ready to sort of put our bags and
settle down.
Yes, unpack everything and settle.
So remind me, your budget was
850.
850. Exactly. And this was on the market for
890.
£895,000. Where did you go in at with your offer?
We tried to negotiate from our budget 850-ish, but we settled on 870.
Brilliant.
Well, I think we've settled in well, haven't we? Really?
Yes, we have. It feels like a home.
It feels like home.
Yeah, it does.
And what about the land? Because that was such a big part of the move.
Yes.
It's coming together. I think it's... so we've got sorting the vegetable patch ahead slowly.
Figuring out what you can grow.
Figuring out what I can grow and how much the snails are going to eat.
You've got pigs too?
Yes, we've got two pigs. 2 girls.
Well, I just have to go and meet the new girls myself.
They know you're coming, Dave.
Yes, they can definitely smell the food, I think.
There they are. Right, Dave's going in.
Girls. Come on, in you
Oh,
go.
wow.
Look.
They're hungry.
Wait, come on.
Go on. Go on.
Do you always send Dave in?
I do. Send Dave in at the moment.
They're big.
They're a cross between Hampshire and Welsh. They're very playful, aren't they, Dave? Very curious, friendly, aren't they?
Trying to bite me.
That's why she sends you in, Dave.
I've got my foot in its mouth the other day.
You were wanting to keep pigs when we met.
Yes.
What was your motivation?
Well, not getting free meat, because we do think that they're going to be quite expensive bacon sandwiches, to be honest.
As well as pigs, chickens and his vegetable patch, Dave has embarked on another pastime, beekeeping, and I'm going to help him check up on his queen.
You just put a bit of smoke in the door there,
Okay.
and then
They'll sort of
they'll start to
stay
go
in. Yeah. And how many bees do you have in here? You only started this a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah. Originally there was about 25,000.
You must have had to learn quite a bit about
Yeah,
how
been
to. This
on
is
the
quite a
course.
responsibility.
Been on the course for
You've
6
been on a
weeks.
course.
Yeah. So take the board off there.
Ah, incredible! It's one queen bee for
Yeah.
thousands of
She
bees.
lays, the queen lays 2,000 eggs a day.
What?
Yeah. There's
That
the
one
queen.
is packed.
See with the white mark on her.
Wow.
Just there.
Without the white mark, though, I would
It's
not.
very hard to see.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah. So we know she's there.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah. Calming.
Yeah, I was going to say there's quite a zen-like quality about you, Dave. Not that, not that you're a raging bull at other
No.
times, but...
There certainly were moments in our original house search where I did push Dave to the very limits of his comfort zone. I'm forgiven then, right, for that?
Yes.
For the mystery house and for going over budget on this. That's what I came for, just to check I was forgiven, really, and for cake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dave, do you want to do the honours?
I'm not sure what it's going to taste like.
That's a big old slice, Dave. I love it, Dave. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been wonderful to spend time with Kim and Dave, who are now living their best life here in the Powys countryside.
For my next couple, it was definitely a case of go big or go home, because they wanted space, both inside and out, for the young family to grow into. And when I say space, I mean a lot of space. They wanted their very own chunk of Devon, for which they would need a very healthy budget. Unfortunately, they had one.
Caroline and Michael's planned country move was inspired by childhood memories.
Growing up in rural Aberdeenshire was just a wonderful experience for me. I loved it. And I really want that for my kids. I want them to experience all the fun, all the adventure, all the drama of living out in the open.
You know, I love doing my sports, so I really want to sort of take them off and go and do the riding and the sailing and the surfing, and you love making dens. And
I love my dens.
At the time, home was a 6-bedroom house in the Berkshire town of Reading that had originally belonged to Caroline, who worked in IT. Michael, whose career was in finance, had moved in after they met on a blind date. 4 children and 3 dogs later, they were still there.
so this will be our first home that we buy together. So we want it to cater for all our needs. Somewhere that people can come and stay with us for the long weekends.
The couple wanted a home that would allow their family to develop and grow in the great outdoors, and they knew Devon well.
I fell in love with it very early on for my naval training, so I know the area intimately, and we spent a good few holidays around the county, and we just love it. Well, I love it, and I'm trying to convince everybody else as well.
We all love it.
Good.
Caroline and Michael had a passion for period homes, particularly rectories. They wanted enough bedrooms for all the family and ideally more than one staircase. Outside, they aspired to, well, let's just say lots of land. The couple had a fantastic £1.2 million budget from cashing in on their house in a desirable Berkshire suburb. And they could stretch to £1.5 million if the new property had an income stream. We kicked off our Devon house hunt on the Hartland Peninsula, just half a mile from the village of Hartland.
Well, here you go, house number 1. Is this what you had in mind?
Pretty close, pretty good.
Obviously, it's a period house, absolutely gorgeous.
All right, we're off to a good start. Let's hope it continues inside.
The grand Victorian country house was a maze of rooms.
This is one of 5 reception rooms.
Okay.
So, you know, one for each kid and one for you both. This will be yours, I think.
Yeah.
It's a good room.
Good size
It's a good room.
Running along the length of the house was a fabulous kitchen cum family room.
What's the gasp for?
I'm a big fan of sofas in the kitchen.
Especially with young children.
Yeah. They could sit and have a TV while I'm getting things ready.
Does the kitchen, in terms of size, work for you?
Storage would be the thing that we need to talk about, but love the breakfast bar and the range. So that's very
You
key.
said if we move to a house with a range,
I will
she will
learn to
start
cook.
cooking. So I'm very excited.
Oh, yeah, otherwise it would have been on you.
At the back of the property, a later addition revealed a bit of a surprise.
Games room for the kids, Luke?
Yeah. I'll have a large gin and tonic, please. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, you make...
When you home?
It suits you. I think this is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
As well as the further reception rooms, upstairs housed 6 bedrooms and a smart family bathroom. But it was outside where Caroline and Michael were most impressed, as there were already established business opportunities in the form of 3 holiday cottages and 5 caravan pitches.
What you have in total is 6 acres of land, including 2 fishing lakes. You can
What?
Yes.
Awesome.
You wanted an adventure. I mean, you know,
Yes.
I'm bringing you adventure.
Clearly. Oh, this is fantastic.
You could make this what you wanted. Would knowing the price of the property help?
Definitely.
Yes.
Who'd like to have a first stab at it?
I would say 1.1.
I'd say more. I'd probably say 1.25, 1.3.
It's on for £1.2 million.
Yeah.
So you were a little bit closer. Go and explore. This is where the adventure could begin.
£300,000 below their very top budget, this property offered endless opportunities which could have provided exactly what they were looking for.
I think the property was very traditional, and I think what I've been looking at, probably a little bit more open.
Can I picture myself moving here? Short answer, yes. But it all depends what the boss thinks. I just love it.
For our second Devonshire property, we made our way to the village of Samford Peveril. On the outskirts of the village was this former manor and farmhouse.
To start out on what would be your land
Excellent.
this time, 5 acres, including lovely, lovely woods,
Oh, yes.
Fantastic.
tennis courts.
Sounds good.
We've got 2 stables behind you. What do you think?
It's exciting, yes.
Yes, we like this.
The house originally dated back to 1760 with some later additions.
Straight into your farmhouse kitchen.
This is more like it.
There's a lot of character in here.
Oh, yeah.
But good.
And is it a pantry or?
There is. Just through that door. Do you want to go and have a look? Go, 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 go.
Oh, decent
Wow.
size. Yeah.
That is awesome.
You know the best thing as well, that sink, looking out.
Views.
Might even do some washing up.
Good Lord.
Would you like to sit on the sofa before you faint?
Downstairs there was also a sitting room, a dining room and a family room. No fewer than 7 bedrooms included the large principal suite.
How do you feel about the house? You've seen quite a bit of it.
I love it. I think it's awesome. I'm just so excited.
I sense hesitation, Caroline.
I love that farmhouse feel. I think for me, the ceiling heights, I don't want to be able to touch the ceiling.
I could tell that Caroline was going to be more discerning than Michael and hoped the price might make the house more appealing.
I'd probably go with 1.1.
Okay.
We're in the same wavelength here. I think it's about that.
You're on the same page. It's on the market for £915,000.
Really? That's awesome.
So we got the budget then.
That's you've... I can't speak.
It's what I'm here for, don't worry.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Rendering Michael speechless, this 18th century farmhouse came in comfortably under budget.
Oh, there's so much character.
I love the farmhouse feel.
There's so much period charm to it.
Yeah.
And the views are exceptional.
Two of Devon's finest homes indeed, both with that all-important land. And I reckon Michael would have bought either. But Caroline needed a bit more convincing. And as many of you already know, mystery houses can be very convincing indeed.
Our mystery house lay in mid-Devon, in the village of Chorley. Despite the weather being unkind to us that day, the house didn't seem to mind and created a great impression right from the off.
Welcome to the mystery house.
It looks quite grand.
This was the old rectory.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
There it is.
Let's just stop now.
Yes.
We'll take it.
Initially built in the 16th century with additions over the following centuries, the house was Grade 2 star listed.
Welcome, welcome.
Oh, wow. Love it.
Now I cannot wait for your reaction to this. Oh, wow.
Oh, yes.
Now, if this is not grand enough for you both, I can't help you.
Oh,
got a
look at
gallery.
that I know. Is it a little library reading area? This'll do.
Yeah, we'll manage for this, yeah.
Yeah.
Next door was the kitchen.
I think you could make this a spectacular kitchen.
Oh, yeah. It's light. It's what I wanted. Nice open
Got the
pantry.
range.
I think we like this one.
4 staircases?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You're spoiling us now.
It clearly has that exploring, hide and seek kind of vibe to it. If they're all going off in different directions and going up different staircases, and we can just see them having fun doing that.
Oh, yes. That adventure.
By then, I was pretty sure they were hooked on my mystery house. Every room had the wow factor.
Oh, this is my room.
library for you.
Dibs. I have always wanted a library. Desk there, I can write there, have a nice humidor, my whiskey. This is awesome.
The ground floor also had a home office, a cosy snug and a dual aspect sitting room. Upstairs were 5 bedrooms and 2 family bathrooms. But the one thing it didn't have was all the land they wanted.
Are you okay with that?
I am. It's whether you are, isn't it?
I am very okay with it.
Well, there's a turn up for the books.
I'm easily pleased, yeah.
How much would you like to pay for it? What's it on the market for?
I would say 1.35.
What do you think, Caroline?
I think it's around the million marker.
No.
She's bang on the money. It's on for £1 million. She's a keeper, the house is a keeper.
You happy with that?
Yeah, I'm gobsmacked. Right, let's get cracking.
Priced below budget, my mystery house well and truly bowled them over, and even the lack of land didn't appear to be an issue.
If I could structure my dream house, this would be it.
I do love an old rectory. It's nice that we've focused back in on the house.
It's quite humbling when you actually find somewhere that that basically shouts at you, you should be here. Oh, it just aches for us to move in.
On our adventures across Devon, we'd seen 3 houses that wowed and, according to Michael, were awesome. Their healthy budget afforded the couple a chance to realise their dreams of bringing up their 4 children in an expansive rural environment. And after that mystery house viewing, I was fairly sure what might have happened next.
It's been 2 years since I last saw Caroline and Michael, and I'm absolutely delighted to be catching up with them again. The thing is, I don't have to go to Devon to do that. I don't even need to be in England. I'm actually still in Wales, in the Vale of Glamorgan, and this fabulous house is where they now call home. Now, if you're thinking, the setting does look a little bit familiar, well, remember, our mystery house was that stunning historic rectory, and this is an old vicarage.
This magnificent 5-bedroomed Victorian property sits in private grounds of just over 2 acres.
Hello!
Welcome.
My gosh, wow.
Bit of a change.
Well, I kind of feel like you've taken the mystery house and moved it across the border.
Shall we show you around?
Please, yeah.
Shall we start through here? Yeah.
Wow. This is grand.
What do you think?
I got my ceiling height.
Yes, yes. That was a little bit of a sticking point with our second house, wasn't it?
Was a little bit. So I really like we've kept a lot of the original character. It was built in 1890, and it still looks as grand, I think, now as it was then, which is what we love about it.
Mm-hmm.
How soon after coming to see this were you?
We were
sold?
in the garden of the viewing, and I said, "Can we put the offer in?"
Well, basically, she pinned me against the wall and said, right, this is our one. And we made the offer straight there and then.
It's easy to see why. This house is full of charm and personality, with 3 reception rooms on offer. An elegant dining room has large bay windows overlooking the rear garden. But this property has needed some TLC since they moved in just 3 months ago.
We've got a few things which were the basics that needed doing. All the electrics were replaced, all the light switches,
More than a few basics.
the boiler,
Radiators, oil tank. You know.
Yeah, I didn't know radiators could explode.
My gosh.
So, yeah, when they rust and then you switch, yeah.
If they're not being serviced regularly,
Yeah.
you know, there was water damage from the explosion and everything. It was a lot of challenges.
When you buy an old house, you have to expect there to be some things that need doing, and we knew we had to replace a lot of things. We knew things needed doing, but we did think we'd have a year before we had to get into some of the big stuff. But it's done now.
Extending their search beyond the West Country did land Caroline and Michael significantly more living space than anything we showed them. Their new Welsh address covers almost 6,000 square feet, including, on the other side of the reception hall, a large kitchen breakfast room divided by a central fireplace, and which features one of the most ornate ranges I've ever seen.
Aha, the sofa in the kitchen area, which was really important. And how many staircases are there? Because if there's not, if there's not more than one, I'm out.
Yeah, no, it's got the 2 staircases.
We did it just for you.
Yeah. And it is a little bit of character as well, because the height's different upstairs, so you get a different vibe across 2 parts of the building, so yeah.
Wow, honestly, it's incredible. And you have the space as well. You didn't want to be on top of each other, and, you know, the kids are only getting bigger and...
Yes, yeah, so they do like to run around. We quite often don't see them.
No.
It's just... So we've got the bells.
Dinner's ready.
It's a bit Downton Abbey with the bell, but we've got the dinner gong at the front, and that gets everyone down here.
You are living in an old vicarage, aren't you? So
Yes.
you did want that kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
Outside, an old stable block is being converted into guest accommodation, but they're saving a couple of stables for when horses eventually arrive.
So how many acres do you have with this property? Because with the mystery house, you were okay about not that much land.
Yeah, so we're just over 2 acres here. We've got the woodland, we've got the kitchen garden, we've got some lawned area, and then got obviously the coach house area as well. So it's actually quite nicely segmented into usable spaces.
Weren't you asking for about 20 acres at one point? And you said that you were not going to compromise. I hate to kind of, you know, bring these things up, but I love to bring these things up.
Yeah, I know.
It was really for the income that you wanted.
The business
'Cause
idea.
The plan was that he wanted to get out of London, to move away, and actually what we've done is we've bought a family home and I've sent him back to work for a few more years.
But it's just so exciting, the fact that, you know, we've got this challenge ahead of us, and, you know, this is our life going forward. This is our forever home.
You now have to fill me in on how we've gone from Devon to South Wales.
Okay.
But first, I need to know what happened immediately after our time together.
When I left you, you were going to go back to the mystery house.
We did.
So what happened there?
Yeah, we went back, we did a second viewing. They dropped the price and sold it, and we weren't in a position to move at that point. And what we did was we came back, we extended our search, and the veil came in on that
It
extension.
was actually an
of the
accident.
search.
I just forgot to change the radius on my a web search, and there's 2 properties came up the south coast here.
Yeah, what did you put, like 100 miles?
100 miles,
from...
yes. And of course, we're literally 20 miles from the coast of Devon in Somerset. And these things came up, and that was it.
And your budget with me was sort of 1.2 to 1.5 million
Yes.
pounds. What, do you mind me asking what you ended up paying for this?
About middle of that.
Yeah.
It's so rewarding, to use one of your words. Just seeing the kids happy. That's what it's all about, really, isn't it?
Makes it worthwhile, yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's working out. You've had your challenges, but...
Yeah, we have. And it's made us challenge and think about what we want as a family and where we want to be.
And that can be evolving.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've got the stables prepped and ready. We just, again, that's something we want the kids to be able to take more ownership of horses before we actually have them.
But then you've got neighbours with horses. Perfect.
And we've got more than one neighbour with horses as well, so there's quite a few. It is a very horsey village. And the first time I took the kids to school, we were driving down the single track roads and we had to stop because the sheep were moving from one field to another. And there were 700 sheep, so we were sat there for a while. That's the kind of traffic you hit coming down these roads. And someone pulled up on the horse next to me, and I just thought, well, this is it. This is me in the countryside, waiting for sheep, chatting to the lady on the horse.
What an image. What an image.
For a small village, we wanted Edge of Village, we wanted a community, and they have been so welcoming to us.
And at the centre of village life is, yes, you've guessed it, the local pub. At just a 5-minute walk from the house, I can see why it's become a family favourite.
How integral has the pub been to settle into the community? In reality, is that the case?
In a village this size, and absolutely. And it was every time we came in, we'd get introduced to someone else, another local in the area. So, yeah, it's where we've met most people.
It's a heartbeat to the village. I mean, everyone congregates here. The events, the huge social calendar. It's brilliant.
Should we toast your move? Oh. It's working out, isn't it? It's working out.
I think the toast has to be...
You set the toast.
Awesome.
Oh, the move was awesome. You know that's your dad's favourite word. I'm so pleased to see both of our couples at home here in Wales. Kim and Dave have really started to go for it with their dream of self-sufficiency. And Caroline and Michael have found somewhere the whole family can enjoy for years to come. And if you do ever get the opportunity to buy a house with some land attached, my advice would be just go for it. Because as the American author Mark Twain famously said, they're not making it anymore. See you next time.
If you also dream of escaping to the country in Wales, Scotland, England or Northern Ireland and would like our help, why not apply online at bbc.co.uk/take part.